Okay, here we are on lesson 2 for our HTML CSS. And within lesson 2, the first module here has you brainstorm what type of a website do you want to create. You talk about how you are going to create a website that just kind of displays your personal interests or your personal knowledge. So this should be something that you already have good knowledge about. So down here at the bottom, where it says resources, there's a Google Doc and a Microsoft Word version of this worksheet that you're going to be filling out. But again, I've already pushed this out to you on Google Classroom. So if you go to your Google Classroom, it'll look something like this. It'll be the CSD2 HTML lesson 2.1. And you're going to open up the activity guide, which for you will probably be pushed out over here on the right side under my documents or my work. And it will look something like this. Then you're going to scroll down and read through this, and it says, you're going to create your own personal website, and you want to know what you are all going to put into this. So some people will be able to pop this up right out of their head and say, oh yeah, I know a lot about this one thing. I can create a website out of it, no problem. Some of you are going to have to kind of think about this a little bit. So, go through these questions here, like what kinds of things do you like to do for fun? Do you like to play video games? Do you play a sport? Do you know some specific knowledge about an athlete or about a movie or a movie genre? All of those things can be put into sort of personal interest websites. So down here, I put down my 4 things that I'm interested in that I could easily, off the top of my head, come up with. And that would be hiking, cooking, traveling, and running. Right. So then I want you to focus on which one of those do you want to really sketch out as a website. And I decided I'm going to do backpacking. So a backpacking trail specifically in America, because obviously they're all over the world. And to keep this relatively narrow, I recommend, 2 to 3 different kind of almost subtopics or things that you can talk about. Right. So I picked out 3 of my favorite trails from around the country, and the Knobstown Trail, the Ice Age Trail, and then along with that, some sort of information that I would include. So I don't even need at this point to include the information, just sort of brainstorming what my website will look like. All right. Once you've submitted that, that's part 1. You can do that on Google Classroom. Click continue, move on to the second part, and you can take a look at 2 different what's called exemplar websites. And these are just examples of how that could be translated into a website, which is what you will be doing here. And these are just using basic HTML coding information, being able to embed images, being able to do hyperlinks, things like that. And we will get there as we go through all these different projects. So that's all there is to Unit 2, is doing your planning sheet and submit that. And then you will move on to lesson number 3.